Here with more, co-host Fox and Friends Weekend, Pete Hegseth, along with former acting director of National Intelligence, Ric Grenell. Pete, I know you pulled out your phone with passion the other night on this program.
Yeah.
You, like so many others I know, Rick, I know you've been involved in this as well, talking to people that you know, friends of yours that are stuck, that are on the ground, or they're the people that allied with us. We promised them, Pete, if this day ever came, we'd get them the hell out. There's no way we can get them out now, is there?
Not even close, Sean. The only plan that's in play is the Taliban plan. And we've been playing by their playbook, and we've been hoping by it. And today, it manifests in the worst possible way. God bless the souls of these 13 Marines, of these men and their families and all they've given. And they
Amen.
were failed by the Biden administration, who did not adjust their strategy. So we knew there was a threat from ISIS-K. And I've been a platoon leader. I've been on a wall guarding a defense. If you know there's a threat, and we knew it for 24 hours, you have to change your strategy. You either get more defensive or you go proactive and defend that perimeter. They did neither, knowing the threat was there, because they've been relying on our enemy, on the Taliban, to deliver for them. And the Taliban delivered exactly what we should expect from them. Death and violence. Nothing will get better from here. And Joe Biden said nothing. Everyone I know was watching what was said today. And everyone I know was disappointed by the fact that our commander-in-chief cannot deliver let alone a coherent sentence, a coherent idea, other than we rely on the Taliban, which is relying on the people who want to kill us. And the people who will be left behind are the first people on their list to kill. And it is a disgrace for our country.
You know, Rick, I keep going back because the Taliban was on the march. We watched them in April and May and June. It should have been, a 5-alarm fire. While we had control of Kabul, all of this could have been done with no risk to anybody's life. All of our allies could have been extracted. Every American could have been brought home. All of our equipment could have been brought home, or at the very least destroyed. None of that happened. Now, from my understanding is, and based on your background, this was not an intelligence failure. That the intel community had it right. They themselves pulled their own people out, and they were sounding the call daily. Is that what you're hearing?
This was not an intelligence failure. This was a failure of politicians in Washington, D.C. You're exactly right. They started briefing intelligence community, State Department officials. A whole bunch of people started briefing in May, telling them that the Taliban was on the march. Remember that Donald Trump handed Joe Biden a stable Afghanistan and a functioning embassy. And in that functioning embassy, there were Foreign Service officers. I think that what's going to happen, Sean, is the strategic blunder is going to be closing Bagram Air Base. Why was Bagram closed? And the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, and the Deputy Secretary of State, Wendy Sherman, why were they not screaming to say you cannot close Bagram and remove U.S. troops when we have an embassy in harm's way, in a war zone? And yet, that's exactly what happened. Our Secretary of State allowed State Department employees to be in harm's way without the military. I think that it's not too much, and I say this very calmly, it's not too much to say that Anthony Blinken should resign, Wendy Sherman should resign, both in disgrace for leaving State Department employees in a war zone and sitting in a cabinet meeting and allowing Bagram to be closed. Look, we just saw the President of the United States knock on wood. That was his plan. I can tell you, Donald Trump would not be knocking on wood right now. He would have had a plan, and something else would have been knocking.
It wouldn't have gotten to this point. We all know that. I know you both have been working very hard to help people you know to get out, and working every channel you have. I applaud your hard work and efforts. Thank you both. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.